KARE 11 News Saturday with Eric Olsen and meteorologist Belinda Jensen.
Well, they are covering up the boats, but we have been told they're optimistic. They're going to pull them off a little later after this foggy morning, after the fog lifts. But it's a beautiful morning up here on the shores of Rainy Lake. These are just some of the views from the Thunderbird Lodge, where we are coming to you live this morning. Good morning and welcome to KARE 11 News Saturday. I'm Eric Olsen. We are live from the 1994 Governor's Fishing Opener. A wonderful, calm morning, but it is foggy, so it's preventing some of the boaters from getting out. We're going to be checking the area in just a few moments and letting you know what's going on up here. We hope to talk to the governor in just a little bit this hour as well. My normal colleague in crime, Belinda Jensen, is also with us this morning, but she's from a different location. She's down at Grays Bay on Lake Minnetonka. We're really going to cover this fishing opener this morning, aren't we, Belinda?
From here all the way to the north. It's raining, Eric. Is it raining there?
It's been, I tell you what, Tuesday and Wednesday it was gorgeous up here, and then we knew that was a bad sign, right?
Right.
And then it started raining, and it is not raining up here right now. We should point out it is just very foggy, and I understand you have some rain down there this morning.
Yeah, well, the situation is the rain is moving from there to here, so you're going to be clearing up a lot sooner than we are here in the Twin Cities. I'm out at Lake Minnetonka, out at Grays Bay. Of course, folks have been heading out all morning. I've been here for about an hour. Folks are heading out, but the rain has just started to pick up, and we're probably not going to clear out till a little later this afternoon. Now, let's take a look at today's forecast around the state here. Showers off and on throughout the day, occasional showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, but I think those are going to hold off. The showers are most heavy right now, right by Brainerd, around the lakes around Brainerd, Gull Lake and such. The daytime high today in the upper 60s. It's already in the low 60s, and the winds will be out of the south this morning and then out of the northwest later. The winds will be light for most of the day, though. I know anglers really don't like the winds, and I don't think it's going to be a problem until later today. And we're going to have a beautiful late evening and also throughout the night tonight into tomorrow. And I'll have, of course, that full forecast and a bunch of other things from Lake Minnetonka when we come back. But now I want to toss back up to you.
Well, Belinda, where are your lunkers? I'm sure you were out at 1 minute past midnight, right?
Well, you know, I was going to be doing that, but, you know, I wanted to make sure I had this forecast right. So I was in the studio getting that done. How about you?
Hey, we're having a lot of fun. I guess I didn't answer the question. We were preparing for this morning's broadcast, Belinda, so I was not able to get out, but maybe a little bit later.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Belinda. Of course, if you can see our special guest here this morning, a very special guest. A lot of you, of course, recognize Kim Inslee, host of KARE 11 News Sunrise, and today joining us this morning.
Lucky me. I got to come up here yesterday afternoon and sort of get the lay of the land. I'm here in International Falls, and I think it's a gorgeous morning. I think it's perfect.
It is very calm. It could be worse. Could be rainy, windy, that kind of thing. Last year, it snowed, you know.
I remember seeing you and Ellen Ferrara freezing.
Wasn't that fun?
You've been up here since Tuesday, and for the most part, it's been a pretty decent week.
Tuesday and Wednesday, as I mentioned, 65, not a cloud in the sky, gorgeous up here, beautiful country, and then it started raining, but now it's clearing up, and Belinda said might clear up by the weekend. The rest of the weekend might be cleared up, so
we're waiting for the fog to lift here, but there is so much activity around here. It's incredible. The governor is getting ready to go fishing.
No, he's not. He's got his hand in his pocket. Look at him.
He's trying to get some coffee there. I got out here a little bit before 6 this morning, and Governor Carlson was walking around, meeting people, and having a good time already.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I think he's ready to go.
Yeah. You can see he's wearing his sweatshirt. We're going to get you a close-up of that. It's an empty stringer because he's been skunked every year at the fishing opener.
Well, hopefully this year he'll have a little more luck. I understand that Lieutenant Governor Deerstead actually has better luck fishing.
And she's not here this weekend.
No.
She has some family engagements and is not able to make to the opener, which is unfortunate because she does usually whip the governor at fishing. But hopefully he'll do better this year.
We'll be talking with Governor Arnie Carlson.
Yeah, let's show you where we are. Also, we have a couple of maps to show you. International Falls, by the way, is about 290 miles from the Twin Cities. Takes about 6 hours to drive from the metro area.
More specifically, where are we here? Well, we're at the Thunderbird Lodge, and that's about 10 miles east of International Falls. Out where Highway 11 ends, if you know where that is. It's one of many, many resorts on Rainy Lake, and it is right on the doorstep to beautiful Voyager National Park.
Right, 220,000 acres out there.
It's incredible. Have you ever actually explored the park itself?
I hiked around up there one day, everything was fine. Then the next day, our photographer, Regina McCombs, was going to take a hike out there and ran into a bunch of bear.
Yeah.
some blackberry, but she's fine. Don't worry about it. She shot some great pictures.
Hiking alone. We want to show you some of the things that are going on around here today. We showed you the governor already, and people are getting ready. You can see people walking back and forth behind us, getting ready to go fishing. Eric will be amongst them.
Oh, sure.
Too long.
Later some boats are going out. It was quieter this morning when it was still dark out, but in the last 10, 15 minutes, we've had about a half dozen boats take off this morning.
Not too bad. Not too
Want
bad.
to also tell you about what we have coming up for you in the next couple of minutes this hour. We'll look at an explosive issue up here that's created quite a rift between Minnesota and our neighbors to the north, that being Ontario. Also, most Minnesotans remember Boise Cascade because of a bitter labor dispute a few years ago. We'll look at how the company and the town have come back stronger than ever.
And we will share some high-level government secrets, to be sure, as Governor Olsen, as you just saw, is going to try to break his string of being skunked at the opener this year. And we do hope to talk to the governor in a few moments and get some of his tips.
Well, I don't know if we want any fishing tips from the governor. I mean, after all, he hasn't caught a fish yet.
Well, maybe we can get some other information.
There you go.
I don't know.
Let's see. Fishing is our focus here this morning. Did you see the dog? Can you see the puppy walking? There's a beautiful dog. We'll get a shot of him later. Beautiful puppy just joined us.
He greets
up here.
everybody here at Thunderbird Lodge.
As Kim mentioned, fishing is our focus here this morning. But it wasn't the call of the crappie or the liking of the pike that originally lured people to International Falls nearly a century ago.
This is it. I mean, this is to Seattle and every place. That's not just Mando.
Twice a week, they gather at the County Museum to page through the history of International Falls. It's a colorful trip through time. The falls of International Falls are long gone from view. But the construction of the dam for the paper mill in 1906 changed much more than just the view. The city grew around its industry, paper making. But before there was the mill and the city, there was a village here, founded really by mistake.
One of the big factors in settling International Falls was a gold rush in 1893 to 94 out at Rainy Lake City. And lots of people came for the gold. But it was really difficult to extract the gold from quartz rock. It was more expensive to extract the gold than the gold was worth. And so then people were up here and had no industry.
And since that time, the industry here has been paper and not a whole lot else.
It has been basically a one-industry town. And that, sure, it has grown, but it hasn't gone bonkers, and it also hasn't had an influx of a lot of other businesses.
Buck was quite a character talking to me. He says, of course, the greatest natural resource up here is the cold weather because it keeps people from coming up here so much.
It's warmer than I thought it was going to be today, so it's not very bad at all. People do, of course, visit here in droves each year thanks to places like this, Thunderbird Lodge, and all sorts of resorts, cabins along the lake here, and nearby Voyageurs National Park, which is just incredible. It's home to 30 lakes, and get this, as Eric alluded to earlier, 219,000 acres. It's huge.
You can get lost in there and never come out. Well,
hopefully
you come out
eventually.
But solitude and that kind of thing.
You probably already know this. International Falls was also home to a real star of the North, to be sure. College and pro football great Bronco Nagurski. Do you remember that name? Is International Falls' most famous native son. Pro Football Hall of Famer began his career as a Minnesota Gopher, and he was named All-American. He was then a star running back for the Chicago Bears. Bronco returned to International Falls after his football career, and he raised a family here. Bronco Nagurski died in 1990, and there is a museum here dedicated to his memory. It's full of fun things to see about the football legend. He was also voted, I believe, one of the top 100 athletes ever in the country. And there's another familiar face to show you. Smokey Bear, the statue in International Falls, is the largest statue of its kind in the country, 26 feet tall. This national symbol of forest protection was erected in 1953 to remind those of us passing by that only you can prevent forest fires, and that is, of course, a big message here in these parts.
Right, and that's apropos because earlier in the week there was a very high fire danger throughout Minnesota. The DNR was saying if you're going out fishing, be careful and watch your campfires and that kind of thing because the fire danger was very high. Well,
now you can see the moisture hanging in the air.
After the last few days, I think that they're actually breathing a sigh of relief about that. We're going to have a lot more from International Falls in just a few moments here at the Governor's 1994 fishing opener.
And of course, we're going to take you back to Lake Minnetonka where Belinda Jensen has her weekend forecast for you. Stay with us.
Two quarts of milk makes every 8-ounce bag of Kraft shredded mozzarella taste better. How do they do that?
Two giants poured the milk into the cheese and it exploded into little pieces.
Kraft shredded mozzarella.
K-R-A-F-T. I love that story.
Hey Minnesota, get a great deal on the brand that fits. Lee wrinkle-free casuals for men now at United Stores at a super low price of $24.99. These are comfortable casual pants that need little or no ironing and come in a variety of classic casual colors. Also at United Stores, a gigantic inventory of Lee jeans for men, women, and kids, 20% off each pair while supply lasts. Lee, the brand that fits at United Stores.
I've never slept better than on my Strata. My Strata is so comfortable.
Strata takes my worries away.
9 out of 10 people prefer their Strata water mattress.
$10 down, $10 a month this weekend at Sun Valley Waterbeds. Whether you spend $500 or $5,000, pay only $10 down and $10 a month. Everything store-wide marked down for immediate sale. And it's only $10 down and $10 a month at Sun Valley Waterbeds.
It may not look busy, but this Dodge Intrepid is processing 2 million pieces of information per second. Its remarkable computer network constantly analyzes data that helps it choose shift points, optimize fuel economy, even maintain the inside temperature you want. Just think, with 5 seconds left in this commercial, Intrepid still has about 10 million things to do. Now lease a well-equipped Intrepid for just $239 a month.
Imagine a breeze. Introducing cranberries. It gets inside you in a whole new light. Crystal smooth and fresh and juicy. Imagine a breeze. New Crystal Light Cranberry Breeze.
That's right, the 1994 Governor's Fishing Opener. A couple quiet boats, but there's one heading out right now into the fog. They have their lights on this morning, but I'm told that that's not necessarily bad for fishing. Welcome back to KARE 11 News Saturday. Live from the Governor's Fishing Opener, we are at Thunderbird Lodge here in lovely International Falls, actually about 11 miles east of International Falls. I'm Eric Olsen. Belinda Jensen joins us this morning from Grays Bay and Lake Minnetonka with a few folks out there. Good morning again, Belinda.
Well, hi, Eric. From your dock to mine. Guess what? I already have some guys that caught some fish. Been out since midnight. Stand up, guys. Where are you from?
I'm from Wayzata. My name's Randy.
Hi, my name is Rob Hickenbottom. I'm from Plymouth.
And you've caught almost your limit. Why don't you show me what you caught? You've been out since midnight? And what did you use as bait? What's your secret?
Leeches were the secret today. They didn't like minnows. They loved those leeches.
And you got some, oh wow. What kind of fish? You have to tell me because, you know, I'm...
Okay, these are small walleyes.
And you know, you said that you caught really big ones, but you had to throw them back. Which kind were they?
We caught huge bass, a lot of largemouth bass, a couple 5-pounders. They had to go back.
Sit him down.
Well, thanks a lot for. They were just like going by, and they said, "You want to see some fish?" I said, "I want to see some fish. This is great." Thanks. Are you guys just going to keep going out again?
We're going to go get some more.
All right, go get your limit. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about the weather now because, of course, that matters, right? That matters. All right. Good luck. Good luck. All right, let's go to the current conditions here in the Twin Cities at the airport. The rain just subsided for a second or two, so it's not too bad. And let's go right to the weather maps, see what's going on. Radar loop coming down from the north. Today we're going to have those showers. They're increasing around Brainerd right now, and they're going to be moving down toward the Twin Cities, the heavier showers. See you later, guys. And we have just a slight chance of a few thunderstorms, but really not too much going on. Let's take a look at radar real quick right now. There it is. That's live, of course, radar. You can see the heavier showers just southeast of St. Cloud. Those will probably be moving right over my head. in the next 20 minutes or so. And let's go to tomorrow's forecast, which is better. Sunday's forecast is much better. We're going to have some sunshine moving in for Sunday. The daytime high 70, so if you're a fair weather fisherman or angler, you want some sun, you can go out tomorrow. The winds will be out of the northwest, 10 to 20. And then really nice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunshine, upper 60s, low 70s. So Eric, I already got him. I already got the fishermen people, the anglers. They're really lucky down here at Lake Minnetonka. I want you to match me up there, all right?
Hey, it's not luck, it's skill, Belinda. You know that.
That's right. Leeches
That's great. Thanks a lot, Belinda. We'll check back with you in just a little bit. It's mostly all smiles for the Governor's Fishing Opener this morning, but underneath, everyone is trying to overcome a fishing feud that's been brewing between Minnesota and Ontario. Up next, we'll take a closer look at the issue and talk to DNR Commissioner Rod Santo. That's next. Stay with us. KARE 11 News Saturday, live from the 1994 Governor's Fishing Opener continues.
Stop! The Furniture Stop's grand opening features great values and selections in sofa, love seat combinations, and sectionals, all at $799 per set. Many styles and fabrics to choose from. Free delivery anywhere in the metro area. 90-day no interest. Visa, MasterCard. Convenient layaway. Also, group prices with tables and lamps. The Furniture Stop, 1 mile north of 694 on Highway 65.
You know Mako. We are #1 for collision repair. But Mako is also the world's #1 auto painter. And now Mako has a great paint finish that's just right for you, starting at only $149. That lasting beauty and shine in every finish is guaranteed in writing by over 400 Mako centers nationwide. Call or visit your neighborhood Twin City area Mako dealer. Great paint value starting at only $149. If that showroom shine is your bottom line, get Mako.
Its airbag system helps protect all 3 front seat passengers. Because as time goes by, Cadillac continues to make the DeVille a safer haven for you and your family. They've made it a safer investment as well. For just $399 a month, you can lease the all-new DeVille for 24 months with $2,400 down. But act now, as time goes by very quickly on this special offer. Cadillac DeVille, creating a higher standard.
Jacobs Trading is where you can always buy the best and the most for the least. Jacobs Trading, a Minneapolis-based company and one of the largest closeout wholesalers in the nation, shops the world over for great buys and supplies retailers throughout the country. Now open to the public and offering the same brand name goods at unheard-of savings direct to you. There's something new at Jacobs Trading Company every day at savings up to 80%. Jacobs Trading Company, 1 mile north of 694 to Moore Lake Drive, Ridley.
Welcome back to KARE 11 News Saturday, live from the Governor's Fishing Opener. We're here at Thunderbird Lodge. Lots of folks joining us this morning. Boats starting to come out a little more, but not as much as we'd like to see, but it is a little bit foggy up here in International Falls. Hopefully it'll clear a little bit. At least it's not raining and it's not windy. So there you go. And by the way, welcome back. We're going to be here all morning long, so I hope you'll stick with us. We have a controversy to tell you about, though, amidst all this the fun here at the fishing opener. The controversy centers around a border fishing dispute. At the middle of the feud is the highly prized walleye. But more importantly to Minnesota and Ontario, the money anglers spend in pursuit of the walleye. Governor Arne Carlson has signed legislation prohibiting most Minnesotans from returning to the state with fish caught anywhere in the province of Ontario. Ontario rules prohibit Minnesota-based anglers from fishing the Ontario side of Rainy Lake from keeping walleyes. The rules state that in order to keep the fish, the anglers must stay in an Ontario resort.
For many of our Ontario users, they were saying, we have this problem that we're being restricted and we're having to reduce our harvest, but the Minnesota tourism industry is free to expand on the basis of the same fish that we're trying to save. And it's just can't go on, especially when we're trying to solve this conservation problem and get the walleye and lake trout to recover.
Officials from both Minnesota and Ontario are trying to resolve the dispute. Joining us this morning is Minnesota Department of Natural Resources Commissioner Rod Santo. Commissioner, thank you for joining us this morning. And congratulations on another great opener. It's a little foggy, but it'll be all right.
Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
You know, a lot of times people blame the media for whipping up this feud, but I tell you, you talk to folks, we've been here for a couple of weeks. Everybody's really talking about it on both sides of the issue.
Oh, yeah.
It's rather divisive, isn't it?
It's been a long-standing, difficult dispute. I would not blame the media for this one.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what about what Mr. Darby said? Can we get to that issue? Is there a philosophical difference in how the province and the state manage its resources? Is that causing a problem?
Well, yes, there are some basic differences in how we manage fish, and one of the things that they do in Canada is they have a control on the number of beds for tourist facilities, and they do that somewhat based on how much fish is available for them to take, and so they have what they call an allocation process.
And doesn't that work? I mean, that's what they'll tell you. He alluded to it, that Minnesota, on the border waters in particular, are free to expand as many resorts as they want, and then they come into Canada and take away the fish that they were trying to save. That's their argument.
Well, that's certainly their argument, and I think it has some merit. The big difference, though, is in Minnesota we allocate fish based on our regulations, and it doesn't matter where you sleep, you know. You can sleep in your home, you can sleep in a resort, you're entitled to the same number of fish. So that's kind of the difference in basic value differences that we have.
And yet, are you calling, do you think there should be more restrictions? Should we be regulating resorts more in Minnesota?
Well, they're regulated by the counties, and they are regulated in a lot of ways. The expansion is based on a lot of things, but I don't think it should be based on fish. You know, but frankly, there have been some fish issues here. There's been some overfishing, particularly here on Rainy. There's been some fishing far beyond sustainability, and that's one of the agendas that we have agreed to try to help resolve. And we're frankly very enthused about the regulations we're installing now.
And you know, that's the interesting thing. You agree on many points.
Oh, absolutely.
You agree that there's a fish problem in Rainy.
Absolutely.
You agree that there needs to be some changes made, but yet at the same time you don't agree on how to get to that solution.
Well, the big difference that we have is, and is causing so much contention amongst Minnesotans, is the limits are based on where you sleep. You know, if you're a Minnesota-based angler and happen to either sleep in a resort or in your home on Minnesota side, you're entitled to fewer fish than if you sleep on the Canadian side.
Do you think it's really a matter of economics? Do you think they're that cynical up there that they just want the people to stay in those resorts because they want the money? Or do you think they're seriously concerned about the resource and that's how they regulate it there?
Well, I think the Canadian managers are sincerely very interested about the resource. But I also think they're very concerned about the economy, as are we. We've been very concerned about the impacts of this on our resorts as well. So for some people it's a hobby, but for a lot of other people it's their job. And so we have to take this issue seriously and really seriously try to resolve it.
Last question. Governor Carlson, Premier Ray announced that they are going to talk again. But is there anything more to talk about? It sounds like the lines are firmly entrenched.
Well, you know, I think there certainly are some things to talk about, and it's been a year since we've had productive talks, and in that year there's been a lot of change. Certainly our legislation has changed, the economic situation has changed a little bit, the fish situation has changed, I think, in the sense of installing these new regulations, so I think the parameters are slightly different. And I'm a firm believer you can't solve anything if you don't agree to talk, so you know, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to get it back to the table and have some chats with these people about this.
DNR Commissioner Rod Santo, thank you for joining us this morning.
I'm happy to be here.
Practice catch and release now.
Oh, I don't have to worry. It's the catch part is tough for me.
All right. Thank you, sir, for joining us this morning. The host of this affair, of course, Governor Arnie Carlson, has had some trouble catching fish on his own on the opener over the past. He's 0 for 3, as a matter of fact. Up next, we'll show you the great lengths he's going to in search of his first big lunker here on Rainy Lake. But first, though, a movie scene, How Families Get Along. The John Candy movie, Great Outdoors. Back in a minute.
I am not touching leeches, Dad. No way.
Cut it out, will you? They don't bite.
No, they suck blood. Ooh.
No, would you watch the hook?
Yeah, that's my hook.
Well, where's Ben's? Where's the
I don't know.
Right over there behind you. You owe me big for this. Oh! Very funny, very funny.
Oh,
give me a leech, will you?
There.
Everybody got their leech?
Jeff Johnson here with Panelcraft in Minnesota, the Twin Cities home improvement leader for nearly 40 years. During these warm weather months, now is the time to call Panelcraft and get all the product information on the best siding, windows, 3- and 4-season rooms available today. The latest technology includes ThermoWall, a computer-cut insulation that forms right behind the siding to not only increase the impact resistance, but now siding looks like wood, feels like wood. You don't want the old insulation, not much insulation value, has a lot of give with the siding. You want something rock solid. You want ThermoWall. Tired of painting your window trim and overhangs? Try Panel Craft Trim. Not only completely maintenance-free, but looks like finely rotted wood. You don't want the old way tacked over your wood. You want beautiful, strong Panel Craft Trim. We're here at the home of Herb Carneal, voice of the Minnesota Twins. Here's what Herb had to say about Panel Craft siding and trim.
Jeff, as I said once before, the one regret we had is that we didn't have panel graft to put that siding on our house a long time ago. It's great to know now that we don't have to do any more painting. We're set for life. So thanks a lot, Panel Craft.
In case football's more your style, here's what Carl Kasulke, former Viking safety during their first Super Bowl, had to say.
Old number 29 wants to say that Panel Craft transformed my home into a home I can be proud of, and I love it.
So call now for a free, no obligation exterior evaluation of your siding and trim, windows and doors, 3 and 4 season rooms.
Panel Craft, the people who care. You could call them at 721-8880.
That's 721-8880.
We've been saying Mercury Villager is the minivan that drives like a car, but actions speak louder than words. Now look how it moves in here with a sliding rear seat and room for 7. You'll get a standard driver's side airbag, front-wheel drive, and standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. I'd like to see you try that in any other minivan.
Mercury Villager. It's at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Minnesota's got 10,000 lakes, my limit of fish I always make. North, south, east, or west, Minnesota fishing is the best.
That's right. Couldn't have said it any better, right?
That's
Minnesota's fishing's the best, right? Welcome back to KARE 11 News Saturday at the Governor's Fishing Opener. I'm Eric Olsen.
I'm Kim Inslee.
That's right. Belinda Jensen down on Grays Bay, Lake Minnetonka. We're going to be joining her in just a moment. Ever since 1948, when Governor Luther Youngdahl took to the waters on opening day, Minnesota governors have been taking an active role in the fishing opener.
Well, and of course, the Governor's Fishing Opener is intended to promote fishing in this state, particularly in whatever area happens to be sponsoring the event that year. Now, every year, the media, us included, travels to the event, and someone else who is here covering this event this year is Tim McNiff, who's out in a boat somewhere. Hi, Tim.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. You look kind of lonely.
Well, I'll tell you what, lonely is right, because so far I have not done well. But of course, that's not the big issue this year. The person everybody, of course, wants to catch a fish is Governor Carlson. He's in the final year of his first term. The man has not caught a fish on the opening weekend, and I'll tell you what, for the folks up here in International Falls this year, that difference to provide a fish, that really has put the pressure on.
From our point of view, Ontario has no choice in the matter.
If they're worried about the numbers of fish that the Americans are pulling out, I think Canada has to take a serious look at the netting that goes on in the lakes.
Minnesota and Canada are at odds over the walleye. Ontario's Ministry of Natural Resources says that Minnesota anglers are taking too many fish and not leaving enough dollars behind. So if you plan to fish in Canada, you have to either stay the night or leave your walleye where you caught it.
We're being restricted and we're having to reduce our harvest, but the Minnesota tourism industry is free to expand on the basis of the same fish that we're trying to save.
This is just going to force us to play it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that wasn't the governor's story, to be quite honest with you. We did another story up here talking about the people. The key this year, it's not minnows, it's not leeches, it's not some sort of technical fish finder. The key, they say, is the owner of the Thunderbird Lodge, Mike Williams. It's Mike's job to take the governor out this year. The whole town is depending on him. Mike, I'm not sure if he really likes all that pressure, but he says he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. If he can get a break, get a little warmth, and get the walleyes moving, he's fairly confident that this year he can provide the governor that first and oh so elusive catch.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Those sunglasses come in real handy this morning, eh?
I'm telling you what, see, they're blue blockers. I'm not doing a commercial, but I can see things through all this fog, including the fish in the water that other people can't.
Oh.
And you know you need every advantage you can get, so I've gone high-tech this year.
You can really see the fish, huh, Tim?
I can't catch them, but I can see them.
Right. I was going to say it's really working. Well, we'll check back with you a little bit, Tim. Good luck to you.
Okay, thanks. I need all the luck I can get.
All right.
Yes, you do. We'll see you later, Tim.
Right. And joining us this morning, the host of our little show, Governor Carlson. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You were up bright and early this morning.
Oh, yes. Had to get my coffee.
Yeah, you beat the crew out here. We came out this morning, and there you were surveying the lake.
Well, I was surprised. All these lights out here. No, it was very foggy this morning, but it's going to be a beautiful day.
So is the pressure on? Governor Carlson has to catch a fish this year?
That's all I keep hearing. Yeah, they guaranteed me a fish. So let's see how that works out. My wife went out. She went out, I think, about 5:30, and she's still out. So she said that if she caught one, I'd claim credit.
Are you starting to feel like the Buffalo Bills here? I mean, you know,
That's right. I've got that's a beautiful sweatshirt you have up front. But
isn't that nice?
I don't know if you can't stand up and see the back of it.
Yeah. Well,
people are making fun of you, Governor.
Well, no, wait a minute.
It's an empty stringer. Every year, it's an empty stringer.
Well, when you say, let's see. No, it really isn't empty. See, there's opportunity there in International Falls.
Governor, you see opportunity everywhere. Isn't that right? Isn't that why you've survived all this?
You have to. You have to.
No,
but
let's
it's
be
fun.
fair to the governor, though, because every year you go out, you have a slew of media following you. I know Sky 11 buzzed you last year, and your hat blew off.
Yeah, that's right.
So how are you supposed to catch a fish?
Oh,
like
I know. Actually, on the second year, we did catch a fish. We went out afterwards and caught some fish. My daughter caught 2, my wife 1, and I caught 1. But you're right, it's hard to in the boat. I think in years past, some governors have snuck out, in the wee hours of the morning. But that's unconstitutional. I wouldn't want to do that.
Hey, Governor, I know it's fun and everything, but what about are all the resorters talking a lot about this border dispute? I guess it came out that you and the Premier are going to talk again, but I tell you, walking around, everybody, it could affect their business drastically.
Well, there's no question about it, and it's been around for a while, and it's going to be a tough one to resolve. I mean, the first hope is that the United States as a whole can negotiate this with Canada, but that's not going to take place. I met with the Director of Natural Resources from Ontario last Monday, and we're going to keep the technical negotiations going. But what they've got to do on their side is first finish their negotiations with their tribes to find out what fish allocation by the contracts exist and are available to the tribes. Then our resorters very likely will have available to them the opportunity to negotiate a fish allocation from the tribes in Canada. And if that works out, then we have a solution.
But that's not the main problem as far as the resource.
I think once that part takes place, then the overall goal can be achieved. Both Premier Ray and we agree that we want one fishing license on both sides. We want one set of rules and regulations, one big tourist area, and one tourist budget to advertise the region as a whole. And so as long as there's agreement on the end, the real difficulty is how do you get there?
Are you philosophically opposed to more regulation of the tourism industry in Minnesota? That's their big concern, that there are so many resorts here on the border putting pressure on the Ontario waters.
Well, there is an awful lot of pressure. There's no question about it. And from a resort perspective, we're going to have to learn to diversify and provide more family activities, and get away from exclusively focusing on fishing. But I think in the meantime, it's only fair to have one set of rules that govern both. Otherwise, both sides are going to start to lose. And that's kind of what you're seeing at the moment. And that's what happens when you have conflict.
Well, Governor, we'll look forward to hearing more, and I know we will be.
All I'm trying to do is take away one fish.
Well, I was going to say, if we all if everyone just went fishing with you, there wouldn't be a problem.
That's exactly right. You're exactly right.
Thanks a lot, Governor.
Governor, thanks. Good luck today.
Yeah, good luck. That'll make news if you catch something.
You're right.
Lots more to come this morning from the 1994 Governor's Fishing Opener in International Falls.
All right, we'll also have news for you and a look at the largest employer here in International Falls. All that and more when we come back.
To the streets and spend some time on the road. I need a truck that'll take me where I wanna go. I need a Dodge from America's Truck Stop Dodge. Don't take them for granted. Overall, the most powerful line of trucks on the planet, that's Dodge. From America's truck stop, Dodge. Oh, America's truck stop.
Tonight, Hollywood's biggest stars celebrate Bob Hope's brightest moments.
Sex symbols like us go on forever.
An all-new special with Frank Sinatra, Liz Taylor, Diana Ross, Lucille Ball, and exclusive home movies.
I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A celebration 91 years in the making. Bob Hope's Birthday Memories, NBC tonight.
A sister is stalked, and the last man she wants
I'm not about to have my ex-lover be my bodyguard.
is the only one who can protect her. All new Sisters, NBC tonight.
The proper role of an insurance company is to provide the best coverage at the most affordable rates. But if you've been injured in an accident, insurance adjusters must act in their company's best interest. That's their job. I'm Ron Meshbesher. At Meshbesher and Spence, it's our job to act in your best interest, to make sure all your rights are protected and that you receive all the benefits you deserve. You can meet with us for free. We'll make sure you're treated fairly.
The lawyer you choose makes a difference. Meshbesher and Spence, on your side.
Because when they run late, you run late.
Minute recipes.
Because you won't want to leave till she gets it right.
Recipes are recipes you make in 30 minutes or less.
Because there's only 10 more minutes of daylight.
For delicious meals like skillet chicken and rice Devon.
Just look on the back of the box. Because you can only get recipes from Minute Rice.
Minute recipes. Great meals for the time you have.
Also, try Minute Boil and Bag Rice with no mess, no measuring.
KARE 11 News Saturday continues.
A picturesque picture this morning, foggy but very calm, very nice, on beautiful rainy lake. We're about 11 miles east of International Falls. The governor's fishing opener up and running. The governor is just about to get in his boat, and he promises he's going to try. That's all he can do, but he's going to catch something big this morning. Something or another, I don't know, but he's just about to head out. Welcome back. I'm Eric Olsen. We're going to have a lot more here from International Falls. Also, Belinda Jensen is on Grays Bay and Lake Minnetonka. First, though, we're going to take it back to our KARE 11 studios where Dave Wildermuth has all the news of the day. Dave, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. Hey, wish the governor good luck for us, would you?
We've tried everything. The rest is all up to him.
Well, good morning, everybody. A 14-year-old girl is in the hospital this morning after firefighters had to rescue her from a burning building in Minneapolis. A two-alarm fire started around 4 a.m. Officials say the fire started on the second floor of a three-story abandoned building. The fire investigators say they don't know what caused the blaze. The teenage girl was taken to HCMC for smoke inhalation. One person is in serious condition this morning after a suspect led police in a high-speed chase through Minneapolis. Authorities say 20-year-old Delijah Peoples of St. Paul was arrested after authorities say he stole a car from Avis Rental at the airport and then led police in a high-speed chase. During the chase, 3 people were injured, including one pedestrian who was still in serious condition. At one point in the chase, officers did fire shots at the vehicle involved, but no one was injured by those shots. Well, some Minneapolis council members are trying to avoid having to pay out money in an alleged brutality police case. Lieutenant Mike Sorrow is involved in the controversy. He is accused of beating Craig Mischie. Lieutenant Sorrow denies using excessive force. The city attorney wanted to settle the case because he feels juries are prone to ruling against police departments in these type of cases. If the case was settled out of court, it would have cost taxpayers $415,000. Money council members weren't willing to shell out. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Sorrow says he doesn't want city attorneys to be the ones fighting his legal battles.
Attorney's office is our general practitioners. I need somebody that's their sole specific way of handling or dealing with lawsuits is police misconduct cases.
The trial will take place later this summer, and only then will taxpayers know whether the $415,000 settlement would have been a good deal. Well, speeding will soon be more difficult to get away with because radar detectors are becoming obsolete thanks to laser guns. Officers in Minneapolis are now using the guns, which fire tiny pulses of light to detect almost instantly how fast a car is traveling. The same technology that created this laser speed detector was used by American pilots in the Gulf War. This device will let police pick out speeders out of the crowd.
Shoots out, if you can imagine, up to 60 pulse beams per second. Those return back within billionths of a second. I'm able to write 300, 400 tickets above what I normally would write.
There are very few laser guns out there. That's because the cost is so expensive. They're about $3,500 a piece. Is that No, it is not. A celebrity look-alike, David Letterman. Michael Lundby of Minneapolis is competing tonight in the MGA Grand Celebrity Look-alike Contest. As guess who? Hey, he does kind of look like Dave. Gap in the tooth and everything. In the semifinals, Michael finished with the second highest score, and tonight he competes for the top prize, $10,000. Michael says people often approach him for autographs, thinking he is the real Dave. We'll go back to International Falls in a minute, but coming up, we'll show you how the Twins handed Baltimore Orioles right-hander Ben McDonald his first loss after 7 victories. Coming up next, Russell Shamoka shows us how the Twins did against the Baltimore Orioles, as well as some NBA highlights. Stay with us.
If you like fabulous hamburgers, crispy fries, and cold beer, or your favorite soft drink, the Lion's Tap is where you want to be. On Highway 169, a half-mile west of Flying Cloud Airport, Eden Prairie. The Lion's Tap, a family restaurant rated as one of the top 500 in the United States. A place for everyone to stop in, have fun, and enjoy those famous hamburgers and friendly service. You can always count on Bert and Bonnie Noterman's Lion's Tap. A great place to go.
I'm an eye doctor because I like to help people see better. LensCrafters does a great job in helping that happen. Can you read that?
Uh-huh.
Good. We provide an extremely thorough eye exam. I always check for glaucoma and cataracts, and with 1 hour service, we can almost immediately see the results of our work. I enjoy the responsibility of seeing the same people year after year. They look at me as being their doctor. That's part of the good feeling you get when you do this type of work.
LensCrafters, helping people see better, 1 hour at a time.
Hey, you! It's Clarence the Crusher. There's too much food in these Encore Salisbury steaks.
Tell him, Crusher.
How can I eat all these juicy, charbroiled steaks in rich, beefy gravy? But Crusher, Encore is a 2-pound family-size entree.
I don't have a family.
I do. And we love Encore. We'll be over at 6 tonight. Really? You will?
About this Encore Veal Parmigiana.
5 tomorrow?
Oh.
For tasting more, it's Encore.
You've got your ranch dressing and your Italian. Ranch, Italian. Hey, looking for a solution to that rut you're in? Then try Kraft Catalina dressing. It's spicy and sweet. A tasty creation that's anything but ordinary. So even if you're a rancher or an Italian, you'll love the change to the spicy sweet taste of Catalina.
The Twins knocked off the winningest pitcher in the AL East and a good brawl in the NBA. Russell Shamoka has the sports.
And good morning, everyone. You know, the knock so far this season on the Twins is that they haven't had quality pitching and they couldn't win at home. Well, last night, both of them came together against the Baltimore Orioles. Pat Mahomes pitched well, gave up only 1 run over 7 innings of work. Kirby Puckett facing 7-game winner Ben McDonald got a hold of it. It is a 2-run homer, 37th RBI for Kirby. Twins led 2-1. You saw Kirby do it with the bat. How about with the glove? Deep, high, fly ball by Ripken, and Kirby's at the bag, and he takes away the base hit. We go to the 7th. Chuck Knobloch. Base hit, right field, scoring is Scott Leyes, and it's 4-1 Twins. Tom Kelly in a bit of a trouble in the 8th. Men at the corners, no outs, but Guthrie strikes out his man. Kelly brings in the righty, Trombley, who strikes out his man, and then Kelly brings in the lefty, Cassian, who strikes out his man. 3 different pitchers retiring the side. Cassian stays in the ball game, and he will get Chris Hoyles to kind of gratuitously ground to short for the final out. Twins beating one of the best teams in the league. 4-1 was the final from the Dome. NBA playoffs, Bulls, Knicks. You know, these two teams really don't like each other. Big fight last night. Watch the center of your screen. That's Derek Harper and former Timberwolf JoJo Ingles. They start duking it out. The fight carries over into the stands. Oh, this is really ugly, as the fans really could have gotten hurt. Both benches got into it, and guess who else was at the game? David Stern, the commission. Yeah, he'll be ringing up the fines come tomorrow. All right, New York came back from a 22-point deficit. That's Patrick Ewing going inside, and then the big guy for the Knicks with the hook shot ties up the ball game at 102. 1.8 seconds left. The Bulls don't have Michael Jordan anymore, but they do have Tony Kukoc at the buzzer. I don't know where he makes that shot, huh? Bulls pull it out, but they still trail the best-of-7 series 2-1. It happened last night at the Dome. Let's check it out. From the 8th inning, we saw the catch by Kirby Puckett, but how about Shane Mack with the snow cone? It happened yesterday at Wrigley Field. Yeah, the Cubs do need some divine help this year. And it happened last night in Chicago. A sure rite of summer when the fat man says, surf's up. You think he's at the fishing opener this year? I don't think they wouldn't let him in with that hat. That is it for now. Here are the scores from last night. Have a great weekend, everyone.
That's it from here. Let's go back to Eric in International Falls. Eric?
All right, David, thank you very much. Thanks for the sports update also. Lots more coming from International Falls. We're also going to be getting the latest weather with Belinda Jensen, who's on Grays Bay in Lake Minnetonka. Lots more from the 1994 Governor's Fishing Opener. And KARE 11 News Saturday continues right after this.
Minnesota's got 10,000 lakes. My limit of fish I always make. North, south, east, or west, Minnesota fishing is the best.
2 quarts of milk makes every 8-ounce bag of Kraft shredded mozzarella taste better. How do they do that?
Well, 2 giants pour the milk into the cheese that it got so big that it exploded into little pieces.
Every 8-ounce bag of Kraft shredded mozzarella is made from 2 quarts of milk. That's why it always tastes better than imitation shreds, made with almost no milk at all. Kraft shredded mozzarella. More milk means better taste.
KRAFT. I love that story.
Your next new truck or van is at the dealer who always gives you top-of-the-line service and bottom-line prices. It's Danny Hecker's Southview Chevrolet, where we have your next new S10. Right now, buy a brand new 94 S10 for just $89.95, or with $8.95 down, all you pay is $178 a month. $8.95 down includes tax, title, and license. Plus, at Southview, we have your next conversion van starting at only $17,988. Top-of-the-line service, bottom-line prices. That's the Denny Hecker Southview Chevrolet guarantee.
Denny's Original Grand Slam breakfast is now just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
Crazy. You get 2 eggs, 2 fluffy hot cakes, 2 bacon, and 2 sausages for just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
The Grand Slam, the most famous cook-to-order breakfast in America, just $1.99.
They usually don't make mistakes here at Denny's.
No mistake. At participating Denny's, the Grand Slam is just $1.99.
Just $1.99. $1.99? Are you out of your mind?
The Original Grand Slam for $1.99. How long can this last?
Making lunch, it's always the same old story.
It's not peanut butter. It's peanut butter.
They get bored, so you get ideas.
Sprouts on peanut butter?
Boy, do you get ideas.
Peanut butter and pickles. Was that bad?
Fortunately, there's Lunchables from Oscar Mayer. Their best meats, cheeses, crisp crackers, and a fruit drink. A lunch even the toughest critics approve.
Mom, you're the coolest.
Lunchables from Oscar Mayer. Lunch will never be the same.
No fishing stories will I tell about the ones that got away, that fought like hell. North, south, east, or west, Minnesota fishing is the best.
Welcome back to KARE 11 News Saturday, live from the Governor's Fishing Opener. Lots of folks with their hands in their pockets. It's a little foggy this morning, but it just might burn off this morning, and we'll get some hot action there. We're going to check weather right now with Belinda Jensen, who is not up here in International Falls, but is at Grays Bay in Lake Minnetonka. Belinda, good morning.
Hi, Eric. Hey, I want to ask you a question. Is that from
Sure.
your own record collection, that wonderful song, and all
Yes,
of our
I have.
songs this morning?
Right, I have an exclusive Minnesotan flavor in my record collection. That's one of them. No, not really.
Well, you know, Eric, it took me a long time. I got a hold of your mom, and I just want to show everyone out there these wonderful things that your mother sent me. Wonderful pictures. Let's take a look at the first one. I want you to tell me about this one. Look at that, you little guy, and I see that you caught a big one, a big fish.
That's not really me.
Sure it is. You can tell. You know, the next one's really good. You and your dad
hanging out. Do you have any clue what year that was?
Oh, yeah. I think in 1965. I think I was about 5 years old. I think he told me to put my coat over my shoulder like I was looking real nonchalant or something.
You were just looking just wonderful there. And did you catch anything that day? Did he tell you about that later on?
Oh, just probably a lot of guff or something. I think it's probably about all I caught. But,
what's your dad's name?
Herman. Herman, my father's name. You bet. And that fish, the first picture, that fish, that's about the only one I think I've ever caught. It's about 3 inches. I got real discouraged. Now, what about you, though?
Well, this for sure is the only fish I've... Look at that wonderful
Whoa.
picture.
What are you, about 15 there or something?
That was the beautiful age of 13 when all of us girls are at their prime. No, that was 13 years old up north in northern Minnesota at a friend's cabin, the Armstrong's cabin, in Danbury, Wisconsin. 13 years old.
Ah, yes, fishing is such an important part of our families.
Sure is. You know, weather-wise, it's improved a little bit here. I know that up to the north in International Falls, they've had a lot of fog problems, but the rain is moving out of that area, and it's actually moving toward us. We've had off and on occasional showers. Some of them have been pretty heavy, but we have a lot of folks heading out onto the lake. Let's take a look at the radar loop right now and see where the rain is going and coming from. You can see it's pretty consistent, moving to the northeast. Pretty consistent showers, but up at International Falls, I think the rain is pretty much over. That line is slowly progressing to the southeast. But here in the Twin Cities, we're going to have rain most of the day. You can see the cold front pretty stationary over the Twin Cities, and you can see all of the clouds as well. So a pretty dreary day today. I heard light rain is good for fishing, though, with no wind, and we don't have the wind right now, so that is good. Let's take a look at the forecast for the Twin Cities. If you happen to not be fishing, we're still going to have showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. The daytime high in the upper 60s. Now by tomorrow, things are really going to improve. A mostly sunny Sunday. Daytime high about 70 degrees, and then for the outlook, we have some sunshine and temperatures in the low 70s. So other than today, Eric, the weather is going to be great for the next couple of days.
All right.
All right,
Good
back
luck.
to you.
Hey, where are all the fish? You catching any?
I haven't caught any. I got some minnows, though, to check out, and we'll look at those next hour, okay?
All right.
She's been busy.
All right, thanks a lot, Belinda. Many people remember when International Falls was in the news about 5 years ago during the legal problems and the violence during the Boise Cascade expansion.
Up next, we're going to go inside the giant paper mill and show you how workers are now looking toward the future.
Towsley Ford has long been the Northland's largest volume Ford dealer. But did you know we also sell the most trucks? Towsley has over 850 trucks, including 350 pickups, 300 4x4s, 100 hard-to-find super cabs, and 90 Explorers. Our huge volume means we can offer you the very most for your dollar. Everyone is pre-discounted. You don't have to negotiate. Everyone pays the same low bottom-line price. No hassling, no haggling, no headaches. It's worth a drive to Towsley Ford and Towsley Conversion Van Center, White Bear Lake.
What do you mean you drove your car to the game?
I don't want to talk about it now.
Yeah, well, I do.
Well, now
you
is
listen
not
to
the
me
time
a
or place.
It is the time. It is the place. When you drive your car, you got traffic jams, parking problems. Anything about that? What about wear and tear on your car?
If you're going to a sporting event, there's no arguing. It's easier to take an MTC bus than a car.
Pollution, Mr. Smart Guy.
Hey, you two talking about the car versus the bus thing again?
Yeah,
Now
well,
break it up. We got a game going on here. Now play ball.
Stay out of it, Marv.
For MTC route information, call 373-3333.
We went to Nashville, where fried chicken is king, to ask how could we make banquet fried chicken better than ever.
More chicken on the chicken.
Don't be stingy with the chicken, please.
We heard you. Now Banquet gives you bigger, meatier pieces of our lip-smacking chicken. Yeah, there's more to Banquet than ever before.
More chicken on the chicken.
Try new Banquet skinless fried chicken, too. Nice and crispy, the way you like it, but with 25% less fat.
You sure know chicken.
Introducing new Jell-O! Great for the plate with a fruity taste.
Kids go ape for new Jell-O, great.
You got the wiggles and the jiggles all over the place.
Kids go ape for new Jell-O, great.
Gobble it up with a purple slurp.
Kids go ape for new Jell-O, great.
But don't follow it up with a purple burp.
Kids go ape for new Jell-O, great.
It's the Jell-O grape, but it's purple and new.
Kids go ape for new Jell-O, great.
So you can have your fun and eat it too.
Jell-O purple grape.
Well, who could forget this scene 5 years ago in International Falls? Violence erupting here, arrests and injuries resulting from that. Striking union workers tipped over trailers, stormed barricades. It was incredible. This was because some non-union work was allowed to take place on an expansion project at Boise Cascade, the paper mill in International Falls, which happens to be the city's largest employer. Now, even though the anger has subsided somewhat, the case is still involved in court action. The union and the company are still at odds over who was at fault for all of this mess. And Boise Cascade has some new problems, too, financial problems to deal with.
Right, Kim. The company lost $77 million in 1993 and lost $227 million the year before. The causes? Flat paper prices and too much paper on the market.
They look kind of like giant bathroom tissue rolls, but these rolls of office paper weigh in at 45 tons. And it's this paper that keeps International Falls rolling. The expansion of the Boise Cascade plant 5 years ago cut through this small city. Hard feelings at first have for the most part been replaced by this state-of-the-art plant, which is keeping 1,150 people working full-time. But last year, there were layoffs. Too much paper on the market cut the demand.
The recession, as you well know, was very much a white-collar recession. There was a lot of layoffs in the offices, which used the copy paper, used the envelopes, the computer forms, and so that has hit us extraordinarily hard here at International Falls.
And Anderson says it may take a year or more before business improves. Even so, the plant still makes paper all day and all night. 535,000 cords of pulpwood and wood chips are used each year here. Chewed up, digested, and made into fine-grade paper, which is shipped throughout the continent. Nearly all the trees used come from Minnesota or the United States.
We use about 80% hardwood and about, well, we try to use about 80-20, 80% hardwood, 20% softwood, but that varies on machine to machine and depending on what type of paper we're making.
This new $535 million expansion takes the timber from start to finish. The finished paper is even cut and packed here, rolling out to a copy machine near you. Workers say there is seldom a dull moment.
A paper machine challenges you every day. It's always something new. It's a good variety of activities, and there's always a new problem to try and solve.
It really was fascinating to go through that plant. Jim's least favorite part of his occupation is paperwork. Can you believe it?
We'll be back in just a moment with more from International Falls.
It's Home Value's Legendary May Sale.
It's legendary because the savings are bigger, better than ever before.
Legendary savings in flooring, kitchens, bath, wallpaper, and window fashion.
Like the newest feature in window treatment.
Levelor blinds with dust guard.
The only aluminum blinds to repel dust.
Levelor's unique dust guard blinds are self-cleaning, and you'll find them on sale this week only at Home Value.
Plus, all in-stock wallpaper and borders are on sale. A tremendous selection.
It's Home Value's Legendary May Sale, but hurry.
This sale ends soon.
Home Value. More choices. Priced right.
Hey, nice place you got here. Can I ask you a question? How much did you pay for this TV?
Circuit City. If you didn't buy it here, you paid too much for it.
Lots more still to come in our next hour.
In a few minutes, a shore lunch cooked by one of the many talented fishing guides here, and we're going to show you a growing hobby among anglers collecting antique fishing lures. We'll meet one man who has quite a collection.
And later, how to take some adventurous trips when you come to the International Falls area. Lots more. Stay with us.
Imagine you just stepped on the accelerator of an Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac. Suddenly you passed 60 miles per hour, and as you quickly approach 100 miles per hour, you're wondering, is this really a Cadillac? Of course, you wouldn't really do this because you're not a professional test driver on a closed track. But if you were, you could approach 150 miles per hour. The Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Hey, Joey, Chad, you got Nabisco frosted wheat bites? Yep. Your mom lets you eat a frosted cereal? Cool, huh? With brown sugar inside? Oh, yeah. You think your mom knows something we don't?
New Nabisco Frosted Wheat Bites is the only frosted cereal with the goodness of original Nabisco shredded wheat. So not just kids love it.
Anyway, I can get these new Nabisco Frosted Wheat Bites? Yep. That's what Mom called my mom.
New Nabisco Frosted Wheat Bites, the frosted cereal even moms love.